Calculus! This is AP Calculus. We are back in business. I am here. I am not helping Riley with his sickness, and it is good to be back. We are on 4-6, Advanced Implicit Differentiation. So yesterday, well, I should say Friday, we learned about normal implicit differentiation. A fancy way of saying implicit differentiation is that you are differentiating with respect to x of different variables, more than just x. You have a y in there. So today we're doing more of that, but harder. So I'm just going to do two examples. Example 1 on the front, and example 2 is also on the front. Hopefully I gave enough room to do this. Great. Here's our example. So we have x squared plus xy is equal to 10, and I'm telling you, when x is 2, what is the derivative? What is dy dx? What is y prime? It's all asking the same question. I just gave you a bunch of synonyms there. All right, so how are we going to do this? Well, in order to find the value of y prime, I need to, of course, take the derivative. And you'll see that there's an immediate problem with that, and I'll let you discover that on your own. So let's go ahead and take the derivative together. Take the derivative. What are we going to get? Derivative with respect to x, I should say.
2x plus x y prime.
Ooh, you're doing it all in your head. Good. And?
Equals 0.
Ooh, close. This is product rule, right?
Yeah. Also
Plus y.
Plus y, yep. So this was 1 d2 plus 2 d1, and d1 is just 1. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. The screen is frozen. Sorry about that. 2x plus xy prime plus y is equal to, and then Rochelle told us it was equal to 0. Yeah. Yeah, next time you can just shout, screen frozen, and I'll be like, oh, sorry. Okay, so we took the derivative. Okay, well that's great. We want to find y prime, so let's try to isolate that guy. Tell me what to do.
you plug 2 to x.
Oh, I can plug in 2 to x. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to color code this guy. I'm plugging in 2 here, in for x. So I have 2 times that x plus, and I have 2 again here. So I can plug in that 2. I always like leaving my parentheses. It's just a force of habit. Y prime plus y is equal to 0. Okay, I'm still trying to isolate that y prime to get it by itself. What am I going to do?
And then you would have to subtract 4 and y to both sides.
Yep, so I'm going to have minus 4 minus y on that side, and then on the left-hand side, I just have 2y prime. Yep, you want to divide by that 2, so let's go ahead and do that now. Y prime is equal to negative 4 minus y, all of that, was a weird y, all of that divided by 2. Problem, I need a number. That is not a number, it's an expression. So what are we missing? We're missing the y. How are we going to find the y? Slope and one of the points. That's a good idea. So,
Just plug it into the original equation.
okay, let's plug it into the original equation. Yeah, so let's do that. If I plug in 2 into the original equation, I'm going to start that over here on the right-hand side in green. That means I'm going to have 2 in quantity squared plus, I have that 2 right there, y is equal to 10. So I just plugged in this 2 into my original equation here. So that's going to be a 4, that's going to be a 2y. You can do this in your heads, maybe. So when I get that, I get y is equal to what? Got some advanced mental math. 3? I don't know, what do we think? You did not get 3, uh-oh. Maybe it's not 3, I don't know. I actually do know, but. So 2 squared is 4, minus 4 on both sides, that's going to be a 6. Divide both sides by 2 to get y by itself. I do get 3.
Where do you wait? What?
All right, let's go back. We're not skipping steps. We're going step by step. So this is a 4 plus 2y. That was a weird 2 again.
You skip which steps did you skip
I
before
see.
to the green? Where did the 2 come from and what happened to the y?
Because the 2 came from the x, remember? So x equals 2.
Oh yeah, sorry. I should go way back. This 2 is x, so this x and this x are both 2.
And that's so 2.
Oh, the original equation, but y prime isn't even in the original equation. So why?
But you're trying to find y in order to find y prime.
Yeah, we don't know what to plug in here, so we're trying to figure out why.
I understand now. Yes.
All right, that was a bad explanation by me, and I know that. I will be better. All right. 3, yep, Rochelle?
Yeah.
3, all right, cool. We are at y equals 3. All right, so y is equal to 3, plug that back in over here. So we have this y prime is equal to what then?
-7/2.
-7/2. Ben, arrow?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, they confirm it is indeed -7/2. Let's go ahead and box that. All right, so yeah, just the point of me going through this was make sure that you have a actual value, a number, a constant for this dy dx. If you have some variable, find that variable. There should be a way to find it. This is a slightly harder one because not only are we going to have a variable y, we're going to have a variable dy dx, and we'll have to find that variable dy dx. And that variable dy dx will have variables inside of it, so you're going to have to find a few more things than just y. So let's try that. We have this new equation, looks kind of the same, but a little bit different. X squared plus 2y squared is equal to 16. I'm looking for the second derivative. By the way, this is the way of writing the second derivative, d squared y over dx squared. This is just really, if you want to label this above it, it's just y double prime. That's what I'm looking for, the second derivative. That's how it looks. I'll talk about this more in depth, why it looks like this, at a future date. Today is more about just how to find our implicit differentiation, our second squared y. All right, what am I going to do? The steps are there. You just need to tell me what to do. Well, we need to find the second derivative, so first I need to do the first derivative, yeah. Tell me what to write then.
It would be 4y
We're,
plus y prime.
oh, let's do the x first. The x squared.
Oh, so that'd be 2x.
Okay, yes, right. 2x plus 4y y prime. I don't know. Do we all agree on that? I purposely thrown this doubt, even if that doubt might not exist. Is it y prime or is it y prime?
No, it's y, y
Why?
prime.
¿Por qué? Yeah.
Because
What is your reasoning?
Because it's first starting off with 2y squared, and then you go into the depth of just y.
So you have to do the doubter, no. The
Like-
first bit and then the second bit, and you have 2, and so
It-
there are 2.
No, yeah, you guys have the right explanation. So that was your doubter, then this was your dinner. Yeah, exactly. Because your doubter had just y to the power of 1. Yeah, good explanation. Okay, and that's going to be equal to 0. Okay, perfect. What's our next step?
Change it to y double prime.
Yeah, how are we going to get a y double prime?
Take the derivative again.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Tell me what to write. I'm going to go into my orange color. We're in the second derivative. I guess I should have made all that red, but okay. Second derivative is now
Would it be 2 plus 4y prime?
2 plus 4y prime like that.
And then y double prime after the y prime?
You have
No,
to do
yeah,
product
that's
rule?
it.
So it would be.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, you have
Okay.
two functions. You have product
so
rule.
it'd be 4y double prime.
So product rule is 1d2 plus 2d1. So 1 is here.
Plus
D2 is going to be
Y double.
y double prime. So that's 1d2 plus 2d1.
y prime 4. So it'd be 4y prime.
Really? I think it's
C.
Because
Yeah,
it's
it's
all.
Oh, interesting. It's a mystery.
no, let's do the dinner. So it's 4 y prime, y prime.
Yeah, 4y prime squared. All right. We need to simplify this a little bit. By the way, there was an easier way to do this, but I like going through the hard way because it's still correct if you do it the hard way. All right, so this is still equal to 0. I should continue writing this as equal to 0. And now we need to get our, maybe this is not necessarily hard way. I think it's just a different way. let's go ahead and find our y prime, our y double prime isolated. Let's get it isolated. So what am I going to do to both sides first?
You would plug in x or not x, y.
Oh, yeah, we can plug in our y. So our y value is 2. So we
But
can.
that wouldn't work because you would have to do more work in order to find y prime and y double prime.
Or you're gonna have to do more work anyway.
Yeah, I think she has it. You're going to have to do more work regardless. And I kind of talked about that a little bit at the beginning to hint
There
at it.
wouldn't be any other way to find y prime at least.
There is only one way to find y prime, and it's from this equation up here. So let's go ahead and plug in everything that we know. I'm going to agree with, so I'm going to say that this 2 I'm going to plug in right here. So that means my new equation now becomes, do this down here, 2 plus 8y double prime plus 4y prime squared. I don't know if there's a, maybe I should do parentheses around that. There's not a convention that I know of. Y prime squared. And that still equals 0. Okay, we plugged in everything that we have currently. Let's go ahead and isolate y double prime, and then we'll have a bunch of y primes on the right-hand side, but we'll eventually find what those y primes are.
Or we, yeah.
Or we could do it right off the beginning. Maybe that would be easier. I don't know.
Or in order to find y, in order to find
All the missing,
the missing.
everything, you plug it into the other bit.
Okay, you want to do the other bit on the top, the blue? Okay, let's do that. So let's plug in everything that we know. So we know that 0 is x and 2 is y. So this is my x value, this is my y value. So this is going to be a 0 there, that's going to be a 2 there. So this new blue equation now becomes, well, that's 0, so that goes away. So I'm just left with 4 times 2, which is 8. 8 y prime is equal to 0, therefore y prime is equal to 0. Oh, that was really nice. Mr. Snell gave us a nice problem. Probably not going to do that in the homework, unfortunately, but let's go ahead and plug in 0 for y prime. So that means this y prime equals 0 means this y prime is 0. So let's go ahead and rewrite this equation now. This equation now says 2 plus 8 y double prime is equal to 0. That's way easy. Okay, so solving for y double prime is therefore equal to, careful, negative 1/4, yep. And box our final answer. There it is. So there are multiple things that you had to do there to find y double prime. You had to substitute x and y into both y prime and substitute x and y into y double prime. This one was easy for multiple reasons. Reason 1, I only had y's in my y double prime. Reason number 2, and the biggest one, was y prime was actually equal to 0, so you don't have to do extra math over there. But generally, you'll always get a number down here. Other things that I want to say about this problem. Oh yeah, so there was another way of doing this problem. It might have been actually harder. I think this way might have been easier. Sometimes you can do it so you actually isolate y prime from the very beginning. So after this step, isolate y prime. That way when you take the derivative, your y double prime is already isolated. It's on the left. So for example, if I would have subtracted 2x on this side, or to both sides to get the negative 2x over here, divide both sides by 4y, then I get y prime by itself over here, take the derivative again, and then this immediately jumps up to a y double prime, and then you have to figure out what this gibberish is going on the right-hand side, which means you're probably taking quotient rule, which means it might have been harder. So both ways are equally correct. Maybe you prefer one way or the other. I'm just letting you know there is a second way. All right, any questions before we write our summary and begin on the homework? All right, cool.